Utah Retirement Systems.
Thank you for joining our webinar today. The topic of today's webinar is public employee eligibility and the qualifying benefit. I'm Beverly Snyder. I'm the Account Services Manager here at the Retirement Office, and today I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about public employees and the qualifying benefits. Before we get started, I'd like to let everyone know that at the end of this webinar, we will put a slide up for you that gives you contact information for all four of the members of our compliance team. Any of us are happy to help you with any questions that you may have. In addition to the compliance team, you can also contact any member of our operations staff, which would be your posting techs. They can also answer any questions that you might have. So let's get started by asking the big question I like to ask. What is Title 49? How many of you know what Title 49 is? Title 49 is the Utah Code. It's the Utah State Retirement and Insurance Benefit Act. This is where all of the rules, all of the laws that we try to teach you and educate you on, all of the laws that we audit you on when we come out to visit you, they all come from Title 49. This is mandated by the legislature. It's updated every year. And just as a reminder, you can always find a link to Title 49 on the URS website. Okay, let's now talk about beginning employment. We're going to talk about public employees today and the qualifying benefit, but I want to give everybody a really quick overview on the employer responsibilities when you are beginning employment with a new employee. First of all, it is the employer's responsibility to determine eligibility for everybody who comes to work for your agency. Once you determine eligibility, you have to certify everybody online, regardless of their status, within 30 days of hire. Employees need to be added to your contribution file, and you need to begin the contributions for your employees within the same pay period that they are hired if you hire them into a full-time eligible position. So just to recap, who are we certifying? Everybody that's affiliated with your agency. Eligible, ineligible, post-retired, exempt, elected officials, and appointed officials. Everybody affiliated with your agency needs to be certified applicably. Now let's talk about eligibility for the public employees. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that I give you a side note and let you know that we are not talking about public safety or firefighters or elected and appointed eligibility today. The eligibility in those groups are different than it is in the public employees. So this webinar is only covering public employees. There are other webinars out there on our Knowledge Corner that you can go watch that will be specific to the other public safety, firefighters, elected and appointed officials. So back to eligibility for public employees, working an average of 20 hours per week and receiving at least one qualifying benefit. Now we're going to talk about those qualifying benefits, but I want to make sure that you understand here that eligibility in the public employee system, it's not one or the other here. It is both. They have to be working an average of 20 hours a week, and they have to be receiving at least one of the qualifying benefits that we are going to talk about. It's very common when we come out and do our compliance reviews that we'll have members put into our system as being eligible in the public employee system when they're not working 20 hours a week or they're not getting a benefit. If you have employees that are not receiving a qualifying benefit, they can work as many hours as you want them to work as long as they're not receiving that benefit. The minute you give them a qualifying benefit, they become eligible for retirement. Now let's talk about what a qualifying benefit would be. Number one, this is any type of an employer paid leave benefit. If you are paying your employee not to be at work, vacation, sick leave, holiday pay, any type of an employer paid leave benefit, that is a qualifying benefit for retirement. Number two, any type of a retirement benefit. And this retirement benefit can be with any agency, not just URS. So you might be giving them a 401k match through maybe John Hancock or Fidelity or any type of an employer paid benefit that would constitute a qualifying benefit for retirement. The next one is any type of insurance. So health insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, any type of insurance would be a qualifying benefit. Now on this slide, you'll see that I have non-mandated there. That's referring to your medical insurance. If you are only giving an employee medical insurance because the federal government, the Affordable Care Act, requires you to do that, then that would not be considered a qualifying benefit. So let me give you an example. If your policy says that employees have to be working 40 hours a week in order to be eligible for health insurance, and then that employee starts working an average of 30 hours a week, and the Affordable Care Act requires you to give them that medical insurance, then that would not be a qualifying benefit for retirement. Now, if your policy says that all employees get health insurance at 25 hours a week, then it would be a qualifying benefit. The Affordable Care Act laws would have no emphasis on that. If you have any questions on whether or not your health insurance is a qualifying benefit based on your specific information, I would always encourage you to give our office a call. Finally, the last thing that would be considered a qualifying benefit is any type of an employer paid contribution to an HRA or an HSA. Now, just as a reminder for the public employees, we've talked about eligibility. So to recap, 20 hours a week and one of the qualifying benefits. Just as a reminder, I wanted to go over what reportable compensation is for your public employees. And for the public employee system, all earnings are retirement eligible compensation. So their salary, their hourly rate, any overtime, any extra work for extra pay, if you give them a bonus, any type of an earning that you're giving them in a cash form would be retirement eligible compensation in the public employees retirement system. I'm going to give you some resources here. If you have any questions regarding eligibility for the public employees or any of those qualifying benefits, this is your compliance audit team here at the Retirement Department. Myself, I'm the Account Services Manager. We've got Connie Ventura Smith, we've got Jason Stegan, and Corey Ford. I'm going to leave all of their information up here for a few minutes so that you can take any notes. Again, you can always continue to rewatch this webinar as many times as you'd like to on the Employee Knowledge Corner. And of course, anytime if you ever have any questions, feel free to give us a call here at the Retirement Office. Thank you for joining us today and talking about public employees and the qualifying benefit. We look forward to you joining us for our next webinar. Thank you.